Peace. Just want to say peace to the nation of gods and earths. Peace to man, woman, and child. Peace to all the human families of the planet Earth. I just want to build on today's mathematics right quick. And today's mathematics is dealing with knowledge, which is the foundation of all in existence, which is only logic. That's all mathematics is based upon, man. Basic universal mathematical principle, right? And with that being said, knowledge is infinite, right? There's different variations of knowledge that exist within the confines of knowledge itself. And this is how we distinguish ourselves. The nation of gods and earths, the 5%. This is how we identify one another, right? We use different variations of knowledge as ID. Now, part of that identity recognition is building on today's math. Now, when we build on today's math, we may state our name, we state today's math, we may navigate through the alphabet and hover through the lessons, hover through a lesson or two. And some people are not well versed in their lessons. Some of us do not have all of our degrees. And if we don't know our degrees, we just say, hey, I don't know, I don't have that degree yet, I'm still studying. Whatever the case may be. Building on today's mathematics is only the tip of the iceberg, you know what I'm saying? It's only a brief introduction. Now, when we introduce ourselves, some may take 30 seconds, some may take 15 seconds. Some guys can break down today's math within 15 seconds, man. You know what I'm saying? Some guys are just swift like that. Some may take 2 minutes, some may take 5 minutes. Either way, man. When you're looking at knowledge and an infinite amount of knowledge, there's no way that you could expound an infinite amount of knowledge within 5 minutes, man. And that's it. Now, today's build includes, but it's not limited to. And if you look at some people, whenever you build on today's math, which is only a quick rundown of your identity, it's how we identify ourselves. They'll say, hey man, you left this out, you know what I'm saying? Or you didn't say this, or you didn't say that, or you didn't do this. And it turns into a big ass argument, you know what I'm saying? And at that point, you're not building no more, you're destroying. And that's today's mathematics, man. Today's mathematics is knowledge build. To build is to increase size, shape, and quantity. And to destroy is to decrease size, shape, and quantity. Build destroys consistent waxing and waning. This is a process that happens simultaneously. You cannot build without destroying. Now, if you look at the original man, right? Being that the odds are mental and the evens are physical, this is how the original man made himself manifest into material. You know what I'm saying? If you look at all physical material in the universe, it's all set apart by numbers, right? And this is how the original man made himself manifest into the physical plane. This is why the original man is in existence on the planet Earth, right? And this is why this is so essential to your existence on the physical plane. Knowing how to build and destroy. Anyway, once you manifest from knowledge to born, which is the law of mathematics, and you have properly knowledge decipher, you become one of these, you know what I'm saying? And if you continue on your natural mathematical progression, what's the knowledge build degree in the supreme alphabet? Rule or ruler. Allah's mathematics are the rules in which one uses as a measuring tool to knowledge build. The measurements of their ruler are always born right and exact. And when you look at a ruler, a physical ruler, if you look at all the material that exists in this modern world in which we enjoy, it would not exist if it were not for the original man. Basic necessities in life in which we use today for today's civilization, this stuff would not exist if it were not for measurement, right? And this ruler was created by the original man. Once the original man made himself manifest into the physical, he made manifest all necessity that it takes to sustain life. The original man, in which we classify this man as black, The Asiatic black man. If it wasn't for the black man, we would not have a ruler. As a matter of fact, we would not have basic necessities in which it takes to civilize humanity. Things like forks and spoons, hammer, the chisel, the pulley, the wedgie, the compass, the square. I mean, all these basic necessities in which it takes to civilize humanity was implemented by the black man himself. And that's without a doubt. Now, when you look at a physical ruler, right, you are dealing with the mental and you're dealing with the physical. There are marks on a ruler that represent centimeters, and there's marks on a ruler that represent inches. Those inches represent the more larger movements of your existence in this universe. And those centimeters represent the smaller, more subtle movements that you have made throughout your existence on the physical plane. Which means every word that you have spoken, I mean, every step that you have taken, every ounce of food that you have eaten, every vibration that has protruded from your larynx out into the universe creates a ripple effect, right? And the totality of your existence is nothing more than one huge measurement. And that measurement is made by the individual who carries the physical body. And that's it, man. And a lot of people say, well, how do you get the knowledge in order to build in basic universal mathematical principles? Well, it's simple. All you do is use your previous degrees. It's just simple mathematics, man. I'll put it to you like this. If you look at a modern day ruler, right, in which I mentioned earlier, the inches represent the more larger movements of your physical existence, and the centimeters represent the more smaller, minute movements of your existence on the physical plane, right? And from my understanding, the modern day ruler is an exact template of what the original man created eons ago. From my understanding, the modern day ruler has not been mixed, diluted, or tampered with in any way, shape, form, or fashion, right? But the only thing that some of these modern day rulers are missing is these 2 points, right? And these 2 points are very key to your existence on the physical plane. As a matter of fact, all of the tools that the original man created when he made himself manifest onto the physical plane, all of these tools still exist within the confines of Supreme Mathematics and Supreme Alphabet. I mean, you have a wedge, you have a hammer, you have a chisel, you have a square, you have a ruler, you have an axle, you have a pulley. I mean, all of these tools that the original man created, these tools were implemented for substantial civilization. And all of these tools, they still exist within the confines of our doctrine, right? So, should there be any excuses for not knowing how to build? We have always existed, but before you were flesh, blood, and bones, you existed on a macro level, right? Before we were individuals and we developed flesh, blood, and bones, we belong to a collective cipher. Now, if you look at this ruler, it gives you an indication of where we're headed, right? We are headed back to another point of existing on a macro level. So, to put it in plain English, we are in between 2 points of non-existent, man. So the question is, what in the hell do we do in between these 2 points? You know what I'm saying? I see some people online, they belong to these online ciphers, and they just can't help but to wake up in the morning all day, every day, just tearing people down. I mean, just going to ciphers just to fucking argue and shit, man. Do we really know how to build? And that's the question I have, man. And that's it for today's math, man. I'm out. Peace.